You're listening to Plants and Politics with Gina Bonanno-Lemos. If you're ready to hear the truth about both sides of the aisle, what's really going on in America, and how big money interests prevent change to keep you sick, broke, and desperate, then play on. Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. This is Gina. So I have an update on this whole nightmare we're living with Trump and his thugs. The Trump administration announced that they are going to be sending their federal thugs to Chicago, Illinois, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is part of what the Trump administration calls Operation Legend. So a government official told ABC News that Trump plans to send 125 to 150 FBI, DEA, and or ATF agents to Chicago. This comes just days after the acting DHS chief, Chad Wolf, said in an interview that they're, quote, proactively arresting people. So in other words, we're now living in this real life Minority Report movie where you can be arrested and your civil rights can be violated simply because these lawless assholes think and believe that you're going to commit a crime. This also follows just brutal news coverage of what these militarized federal agents have been doing in Portland, Oregon. One example in particular inspired a petition that's now being circulated after a video of the event went viral. So the video shows a Navy veteran being beaten with a baton and shot in the face by federal agents with pepper spray. So for those of you listening to the podcast, you can head over to the YouTube channel where you can watch the video of his attack. I'm going to insert the video at this point in my audio recording. So for those of you who are on YouTube and you haven't seen it, let's take a look right now. So as you saw, Christopher David, 53-year-old Navy veteran, simply approaches the officers. He calmly speaks to them, and he's met with 5 full force blows from an officer's baton. Then another officer wearing camouflage, a helmet, and a gas mask walks up and sprays Mr. David directly in the face with pepper spray. So as a result of this completely unprovoked attack, Mr. David's ring finger was completely shattered and another bone in his hand was broken. So the AP News report said that his injuries are going to require reconstructive surgery and he's going to need pins and plates in his shattered finger. Personally, I hope he sues the living shit out of the government. That is a GoFundMe that I would gladly donate to help him hire the best legal representation on the planet. I mean, it's unbelievable what they're getting away with. So why was he there? And what did he say to make the officers violently attack him? So Mr. David told the AP outlet that he purposely wore a sweatshirt and ball cap embroidered with the word Navy on it, so the officers might be more receptive to what he had to say. Clearly not. He said, quote, what they were doing was unconstitutional. He also told the press that when he approached the officers, he simply reminded them, quote, you take the oath to the Constitution. You don't take the oath to a particular person. Mr. David also said, quote, they plowed into a bunch of protesters in the intersection of the street and knocked them over. They came out to fight. He also told the AP that one of the officers pointed a semi-automatic weapon at his chest, and there's apparently a video showing another officer shoving him backwards as he tried to talk with them. So here's the really ironic part. Trump complained nonstop about Obama, who I have issues with myself. I've got many issues with Obama. I am not a huge Obama fan, as most people are in this country, especially on the left. And I've heard right-wing media and even right-wing voters say over and over again that Obama caused racism, as if it didn't, it never existed before Obama. And they claim that Obama divided the country. Okay, so riddle me this, Republican Batman. Why is it that none of this happened during 8 whole years of the Obama administration? And Trump's Justice Department said that crime in Kansas City, Missouri has gotten so bad that their governor requested federal assistance, and Trump just had to send, he either just sent or he's going to be sending 200 FBI, ATF, and DEA agents in to help. In fact, they said that homicides in Kansas City have risen by 40% in the last year. Why is that? You know who happens to have been the president over the last year? I mean, Trump and so many on the right-wing media keep saying that crime is rising in all Democratic-run states and jurisdictions, but Mike Parson is the governor of Missouri who asked for Trump's help, and he's Republican. It's his state that has had a 40% increase in homicides over the last year. It's funny how Trump and Kayleigh McEnany and all these other people fail to mention that. So this is absurd. It's unbelievable that people are going along with this or even cheering this on. And if you're on the right in this country and you think that this is okay, then ask yourself this. If Biden wins in November, which it's looking more and more like he's going to, would you be okay? Are you going to keep your mouth shut if he sends federal agents to, let's say, I don't know, Michigan, next time right-wingers show up at a state house armed, threatening people, getting in cops' faces and screaming at them? Are you going to be okay with Biden sending in masked federal agents with no identification, with unmarked vehicles, and throwing those armed protesters into those vehicles and driving off with them, essentially kidnapping them, not reading them their rights, not telling them why they're being arrested, holding them against their will? You're going to be okay with that? Because if you're okay with it right now, then you really need to shut your mouth if it happens in the other direction. Everybody needs to really wake up. Everybody needs to take a cold, hard look in the mirror and get real about what is acceptable in this country and what is not. Just keep that in mind, the next time you're throwing a fit, and states' rights. I mean, for God's sakes, that's all I've freaking heard from the right. States' rights, states' rights. The federal government shouldn't have the right to say what goes on in the states. Really? Really? So then what is this shit? Why is this okay? So should maybe Biden's federal government be able to say that states must abide by, let's say, gay rights, that every single state has to have laws on the books protecting gay rights? Because they don't right now, not in every state. There are some states where people can still be fired for being gay. Being a homosexual or being transgender can get you fired in certain states. That's not a federal law, because right-wingers say, no, you can't do that. What if there's a federal law? What if Biden says, you know what, these guns, it's getting out of control. Children are being shot. I think we need to send in armed men in unmarked vehicles to collect all your guns. You cool with that? Just don't be a hypocrite. That's all I ask of people. Don't be a freaking hypocrite. Your principles don't change depending on the circumstances and who's in charge. So think about it. Anyway, guys, that is it for now. If I hear any more about this, I will let you know. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share. on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.